that looks good. What's that?
It's wine unknown. Welcome to Wine Unknown. I'm your host. My name is Brian Fennell, also known as Bright Guy, and I'm a wine specialist. What does that even mean? Well, it means that I know a lot of information about wine, and I want to share that along with my passion with you guys. So no matter where you're at in your journey, no matter if it's the beginning, the middle, well, let's face it, there's no such thing as the end. This is the show for you. So another one of the grapes that I adore, that's one of the red noble grapes, are Zinfandel. Zinfandel is so all over the place. It can be rich and heavy. It can be light and fruity. It can be anything. And I love that about it. Sometimes it's a rosé. It's just, I don't know. It's just so much to say about it. But there's one thing for sure. They are delicious. So hopefully you have something in front of you, no matter if it's water, no matter if it's coffee. Hey, you might even be on the bus or driving into work for your commute. Let's learn something right now about Zinfandel. What is Zinfandel? Most people are familiar with white Zinfandel, and that's kind of the only time they heard of it, and it's on your shelves everywhere, white Zinfandel, so you just don't know what it is. Alright, so to make it simple, Zinfandel is a red grape varietal, right? That you get to see as white Zinfandel all over your shelves. But it originates from Croatia. It's a clone of the Primitivo, or they're neck and neck. They're both clones of the original grape that comes from Croatia, right? So it's a red wine that we kind of just made our own here in California, or well, here in America in California. And it's just so juicy. It's just so fruit forward. It's just so easy. So it's like, why not? And everybody loves a good blush or rosé, as we would like to call it. It's a rosé, but they just coined the term blush. And that's what it is, it's a red grape that they turn into a rosé, or that they make in the style of a rosé and ship it or call it white Zinfandel. It's not a white grape, it's red. And the vast different colors of red it comes in is spectacular. Sometimes you might get like a dark, deep, heavy red. Other times you might get like this like hot, pinkish, kind of reddish kind of like grape from this grape from this vine, so it's just all over the place, and it produces so many different fruit forward flavors, or it could be super dense where you're getting nothing but like black fruit. So you're thinking like black cherries, black currant. You're thinking more of like those kind of colors as opposed to like the cranberries, the Bing cherries, the strawberries. It's all over the place. It is nothing but a fruit bomb. And I love that. Everybody loves that because those are all flavors we adore growing up as children. So it kind of takes us all the way back there. And that's amazing because those are everything that you love, those juicy fruits. Ooh. That's all you can do just with that, right? So why doesn't Zinfandel have more market share in the wine world? It's crazy. Because when it presents itself as a red wine, it's not taken as serious as something like Cabernet Sauvignon, or Merlot, or Pinot Noir. It's just not taken in consideration. A lot of people don't even know that Zinfandel is a red wine. Everybody just knows it as it being a rosé or a white Zinfandel, and that's where like it gets pretty funky. It gets pretty wild because you have to thank California for that, and that's Robert Mondavi. Robert Mondavi I guess you would say it was an accident on how he made white Zinfandel. So ultimately, they just like, because it was their first time, Robert Mondavi's crew, first time like dealing with the grape, because they're just coming off of success of their Cabernet Sauvignon and their what is that? Their Chardonnay, that they wanted to try something new. So they were experimenting with the Zinfandel grape. And they didn't know how it was going to take. So they were using the same techniques that they would as the Cabernet Sauvignon. And what they noticed is that things were moving a little bit quick, and it had a lot of flavor. So they stopped the fermentation and they pulled it, and it came out this beautiful, like vibrant pink color. And it was a rosé. And they're just like, oh, well, rosé doesn't really sell here in America. So what could we do? What could we call it? And they came up with the fantastic term of white Zinfandel. And that was something new. It was like a resurgence of the Zinfandel grape or Zinfandel wine. And everybody went crazy over it because it's what they imagined rosé to be. It's what people imagine it to be, this nice, fruit forward kind of, they made it sweet, but this sweet wine, you know? And it's like, this is how this is mostly everybody's introduction to rosé or Zinfandel. Takes over everything. So I can't be mad at them or at that. I remember I had Franzia. that's where you would see white Zinfandel. It would be like Franzia, the box of wine, or like Sutter Home. It would be like your grapes, like, or your wine, your brands like that, you know? And to me, it's not for me, but I understand why people like it, you know? I understand. It's crushable. It's nice and refreshing, and it's juicy. It has all the flavors, those fruit flavors of, like we said, the strawberries, the cherries, just like dialed in, and it has sweetness. And not once have I ever thought, what kind of food should I eat with my white Zinfandel? That never ever crossed my mind anytime that I have had it. But now that I think about it, there are a couple things that I know that I would like to try with it. Of course, I would like to have a fruit salad, you know, like, oh my goodness, I think that would pop so much. Or any kind of salad, not any kind, because I won't do like a Caesar salad, but we're thinking of like a summer salad kind of thing with some bright, vibrant vinaigrette to just pair with the add acidity to the wine. But the type of Zinfandel that I like, they're red wines, definitely from California. Oh my goodness, I particularly like wines from the Paso Robles. And these Zinfandels are so soft in texture, they're fruit forward, and they don't have a lot of acidity, but they have that ripe fruit forwardness that I like, that I can appreciate in a red wine. And it has low tannin, so there's so much I can do with it. Like, what I like to have with my Zinfandel is like baked ham, roasted ham, rotisserie turkey, like these juicy poultry kind of like dishes. It's fantastic. It's some of the best pairings you can have, because usually you think of like white wines with like turkey and like ham and all these kind of different meats. But oh my goodness, since there's low tannins from the Zinfandel in the Paso Robles area, it works. It's such a mind twister that you're just like, wait, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, I don't even know. You should try it out. You should just try it out. It's going to be amazing. Please, during Thanksgiving next year or this year, whenever you're listening to this, bring a bottle of a good Zinfandel from California, from the Paso Robles area, or even Sonoma, you will be the talk of the town if you're in a small town. Maybe like of the city, because everybody's gonna be like, my such and such brought this to brought this to Thanksgiving, and oh my goodness, I was looking at them like, what kind of loser? But then we tried it; it was fantastic. They're going to think you serve some type of like wine expert or sommelier or something. They're going to think that, and they're going to be highly impressed. So you should definitely do it. Like, that's just one thing. Matter of fact, go on a date and do it. Just surprise. Go to your local BYOB and just like have a Zinfandel with like turkey or ham, or even try a hot dog. Like, just try it. It's going to blow your mind. No matter if it's like red meat, because you can even do burgers with it. It's so versatile. Amazing stuff. Zinfandel can also be found in southern Italy, but it's called Primitivo there. It's pretty similar. They both come from the same grape varietal, which is the parent clone grape from Croatia. This is all DNA tested and approved. like people have been sitting there fighting over the Zinfandel grape for decades, and that's a huge story. That's amazing. So you should check it out if you want to go down that rabbit hole. It's fantastic stuff. How it comes from this little village. Whatever. I don't feel like getting into it right now because you don't care about that, right? I'm pretty sure you don't care about that. But this red wine, this Zinfandel called Primitivo from the southern area in Italy, is totally different than its counterpart in USA. It is not fruit forward. This is where you're getting more of the terroir, if you will. This is the more earthiness. This is going to be robust. This is going to be super dry. Any of those fruit flavors you were thinking of, throw it out the door. This is where you're going to get more like new leather. This is going to have more like oak aging to it. So you're going to get more like that sweet tobacco, allspice, nutmeg. You might get some like bramble, some blackberry. You might get more along those kind of lines with the fruit, but it is totally different. It is a different experience than the white Zinfandel or the Zinfandel you'll get from California. I can assure you that. But it's a different type of goodness. This is more like if you're getting into wine and you want to go down that rabbit hole, this is more like towards the aficionado kind of way. Look, if you're out at a important dinner, whether it's a date, whether it's a business dinner, this is the wine you want to go with. You want to grab a Primitivo. First of all, they're fairly inexpensive, and it's something that they've never heard of, just because people are really intimidated with the language of wine on the labels. They don't understand. So it's like, no. I'll stick with what I can read. But this is that. And this has so much structure to it, way more than its California counterpart, that this style of wine, this Primitivo, is going to have the tannic structure to stand up to any dish at a steakhouse. So not only are you going to blow them away, or whoever your guest is, you're creating an experience that's memorable. So anytime they have a Primitivo, they'll think of you. This is the sure shot way to impress somebody that you're on a date with or that you're doing business with at a steakhouse. Give them something that they couldn't even imagine, that they don't know. But I'm your inside guy, so you got me. I got you. The last thing I want to touch on with Zinfandel and the labeling is that you're going to see something on there that says old vines. That's pretty common. That's good. that just means that these vines they're old. They're old. So they don't produce a great quantity of things, of berries. It's more so I'm putting all my effort into the bare minimum, which is the maximum of what I can produce. So the less fruit that comes from me, the more or the higher the quality will be of it, because I'm concentrating all my efforts and energy into these little bit of like bunches. And that's a good thing. That just means you're going to get that much more flavor from it. That just means you're going to get that much more structure. And these vines could range anywhere in age from like 35 years old. Oh man, that just makes me old. I got it. From 35 to 55. Like, I just hit the old status. Jeez. I just had a moment just now. Like, that's crazy. Why would y'all do that to me? That's not fair. But yeah, that's what old vines are. They just produce a lot less yield of grapes. But that just means they get to focus intensely a lot more on the grapes they are producing. So you're just going to get richer flavors, richer structure from them. And oh my goodness, it's so dense. It's so great. You guys have to experience it. I tell you, it's one of the best things you can do for yourself with the Zinfandel grape. You won't ever see old vine white Zinfandel. You won't see that. That should be a thing, because then I would look at that as high quality white Zinfandel. But you probably won't see that. If you see that on the market, please let me know. Tag me at Yo Bright Guy. Hit me up on all social medias. You can even hit the fan mail if you're just listening to this on Buzzsprout or even Apple. You can comment. Just let me know if you've come across a high quality white Zinfandel. Please let me know. All right. Once again, thank you for checking out this episode of Wine Unknown. I'm your host, Brian Fennell, also known as Bright Guy. And geez, this just felt good. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing this. I'm glad my voice is coming back. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I think next week, should I do Mayor Low? Or should I save that a little bit longer? I think I'm going to save that. Maybe I'll do Malbec. Who knows? Oh, there's Tempranillo. There's a couple on my list. I'm excited about them all. I think I'm going to commit right now to you guys. Let's do Malbec. Next week, we're going to do Malbec. We're going to learn a little bit. All right? Can't wait to see you then. Love to hear from you. All right? Make sure that you subscribe, share, do all those things that people always ask you to do for me, please. All right? Love you. Ciao.